Hey everyone, I'm Ultraviolent4 and this is the fourth game of the month, the game for July. We're going to be playing a Draconian Conjurer today. If you haven't played along yet and you'd like to, there'll be a link to the instructions in the description. And if you've been hanging out for the cosplay playthrough, I'm sorry about that, it'll have to be after this one. In additional news, I've done a bit of testing of my internet and I believe it will be possible to stream. So I'm going to do a test stream on my Tuesday morning. For most of you, it's probably Monday night. So do come along, that should be fun. I'm going to be playing some Mummy Monk Challenge, which, if you're not familiar with it, is absurd. Anyway, so Draconian Conjurer. Trying to remember how to play this game. Haven't played in a while. There have been quite a few different trunk changes, but Game of the Month is still in the stable release, so we won't have to worry about any of those. But once we make it through this, I've got a cosplay game lined up, and I'd like to test out the new Sif Muna rework. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so this one. Pretty uninteresting dungeon layout that we've landed in. We are not yet a color, so as we level up with the Draconian, we'll eventually get a color. I'm not sure if that's going to be stable among playing these seeded games, so let me know. I didn't want to look in the discussion thread and spoil myself for this game yet, but you guys can tell me. Did you all get the same one, or is it different? Another good thing about Draconians, which is why I've picked this species as a sort of beginner caster species, you might say, you get innate AC, which is really nice. Bonus AC makes you more survivable. As a Draconian, you're also relatively high HP. You have plus 10%, and your aptitudes are pretty good across the board in terms of magic. Now, when we get a color, our spell aptitudes might change a bit. I know for some of you that's basically the worst thing you could imagine. Say you start off as a Draconian Fire Elementalist and then you got a White Draconian, which specializes in cold. That would be the end of the world. So I've also picked a Conjurer start. It's probably the most... I don't know if generalist is the right word, but it's it's the book start that's a quote unquote blaster caster. It's going to be the least affected by Draconian colors, because conjurations can be used with any other destructive spell. We start out with Magic Dart learnt. The good thing about that one is that it can't ever miss. I'm going to make a macro for that with tilde and M, so that we can fire that one. That's if there's one thing you want to learn about playing mages, it's that. Use macros so you don't have to keep spamming your buttons all the time. And then I guess that's probably most of what I wanted to say. Our inventory is just a ration. We don't even get to start with a robe because Draconians can't wear body armor. But as we discussed, you get AC that levels up as you go. Also, you're cold-blooded and may be slowed by cold attacks. Once you get cold resistance, that's not a big deal. But yeah, it's kind of rare to meet things like that in the early game. Alright, there's a scroll. We're going to head to that. So I'm manually exploring here in the early game. And the thing that, especially on casters, we want to find, which we have just found, is a pillar. So this dungeon feature here, we can run around. If we run out of magic points, say we meet a whole bunch of enemies at once, or if we, hey, a centaur barding, or if we, say, miscast a bunch of times, we could run around that pillar there and we could slowly recharge. Alright, a dart slug. It's kind of dangerous, but we've luckily met it on the edge of our line of sight, and it's slow. So if we don't kill it here, we'll just run back up. And the beauty of being a high HP species like a Draconian is that this dart slug can't one-shot us. If we look it up in Beam, I believe it can do 8 damage from range. 2d4, yep, 8. So if you're something like a Feelid, you could die on d1 to a dot slug. Not so for the Draconian. Okay, we didn't kill it. We've got 2 more shots. I'm pretty confident. Okay, we really didn't. Alright, well now we back up. And this is where having the pillar is nice, because say, I don't know, we didn't have that pillar yet, we'd eventually run into the entrance and we'd have no choice but to then fight it. Alright, well we killed it. There we go. Okay, so we found a sling there, which is something worth talking about. And we got rats. Ah, also a dagger. Okay. The thing I was going to say about the hunting sling is, well, okay, several things. 1, it can be cursed. 2, it can be really nice, even on mages here in the early game, because it lets you shoot from range even when you're out of magic points. 3rd, we don't have any ammunition yet, so there's really no point wielding it at all. We would be better off, if we're going to risk wielding one of these things from the ground, we'd be better off doing the dagger, because at least if that's cursed, we can still hit things with it. Whereas a sling with no ammo is really useless. Okay, it was not cursed, that's nice. I'm using =I here. I'm going to make the hunting sling on B, and I was about to show you how I can switch between apostrophe, but I don't want to do that yet because it might be cursed. So yeah, especially with mages, you don't really care too much here in the early game about ending up with a cursed weapon. So it's not a big deal to just try weapons that you find on the ground. Even if, for instance, they were glowing, you would just try it, because if it's cursed, not a big deal, you still got your spells, and if it's not, then that's also great. We've got 2 scrolls of something. There's a good chance that that's either remove curse or identify, but we don't have any other items, so I'm not going to do those yet. Alright, stealth. Oh, I never did my skills! Alright, well we've been training stealth. That's not something I normally do. Alright, let's do our skills. Okay, so we want to be focusing conjurations, because that's our offense here, especially in the early game. At level 2, no, everything's conjurations. Our whole book has conjurations in it. So we'll focus that. Let's also turn spellcasting on, because that's going to give us more magic points, more spell levels. And I like to always have at least 1 defensive skill. And for Draconian, we've got a +1 fighting aptitude. So we're going to go that one for extra HP. Oh yeah, that was that was really bad. And look, we've been training stealth, so we've got 2 stealth. I mean, stealth is technically a defensive skill as well. Here's a potion. It gives us something to use the potential ID scroll on. Will I just do that? Oh, we got 2 stacks of 2. Yeah, I think I'm just going to read those stacks of 2. If it's teleportation, we've done, I don't know, a fair bit of the floor. Maybe not. Should I learn? I mean, should I wait for Searing Ray? Probably not. This is interesting. Yeah, just a pretty chill room. I'm going to read the scrolls of 2, stacks of 2. One's blinking. Alright, so we wasted 1, but now we have a very early blinking scroll. That's going to make us a lot more survivable here in the early game. And an enchant weapon scroll. I'm half tempted to use it on the hunting sling. But we don't know yet whether it's cursed or not. But that's more likely to be useful for a longer time than the plain dagger is. Because branded daggers are fairly common in the early game, whereas hunting slings are not. I'm going to take the risk here and throw it on the hunting sling. I'm also going to just check that there weren't any stones anywhere that I missed. No. Or sling ammo. No. Okay, that's fine. Well, we'll be finding out in the future if that was actually a worthwhile use or not. We've run out of... Oh, I may as well pick those up. We've run out of magic. We're just going to run back. We don't want this guy to be having any opportunity to hit us. And you know what? I'm going to just use the door here. So I'm closing it, and he's using his turn to open it. And so rather than running away, we're regaining our magic points like this. It's just easier. Okay, now we got our magic points back. We'll kill him. Alright, a short sword, arguably better than a +0 dagger. And because the enemy was wielding it, we know it's not cursed. So I think I'll use that short sword. I'm saying it's better than the dagger because it's a higher damage. Okay, we have 2 stones. I don't really want to test out the sling with only 2 stones. I'd rather have the short sword. Alright, I'm just killing stuff with tab. That was probably a bit hasty. Better to run back and get our magic points back. So we made it to level 2. I think it's definitely worth learning and using Searing Ray. This is kind of a strange spell. I'll show it to you when we find another enemy. Not a bat, that's not a good enemy. Alright, this hobgoblin. Okay, it's fairly short range, right? I can't shoot him from here yet. Alright. Alright, let's get ready. So the way that this works is that, let's see if it has a description. That way I cannot use my brain, I'll just read. Fires a continuous ray of arcane energy from the caster's hands. That's not very descriptive, or not very helpful. Though initially mild, so long as the caster maintains focus upon the spell and supplies it with magical power by waiting in place and not taking any of the actions, the ray will grow in strength until it becomes a surging bolt able to tear clean through the ranks of the caster's foes. Alright, so let's get him in range first. I think it's one more. Oh no, here we go. So we shoot it. We immediately kill him. But see how it says press dot to maintain the ray? If you do that, well, it uses more magic points. But as you do that, you stay in place and you keep shooting it in a line as it charges up, gets more powerful, and then the final one does a bigger bolt that actually shoots through enemies, like a penetration bolt. Anyway, let's dance this guy back up. So we're on to D2. I don't think we don't have any more stacks, so we're not going to read scrolls here. That's a 2. I'm going to read that while standing on the stair here because again, identify or remove curse would both be really useful. It's remove curse. Alright, that lets us try this jewelry. Magical power, that's an amazing find. We just went from 5 magic points to 14. So now we can just go absolutely crazy with that thing. I never remember its name. I'm really bad with the whole Conjurer spellbook. I'm going to forget all of them. We get Dazzling Spray at 3. We have Searing Ray. Okay. The only thing is that it has more spell hunger, so it makes us hungrier. So I guess I shouldn't spam it like crazy. But yeah, we have a huge amount of magic points. Let's also test the Hunting Sling. It's +1. Okay, so it kind of worked out, I guess. Although we don't really need it so much anymore because with 14 magic points, we can just shoot magic darts all day. It's full screen, it can't miss. Let's back up there. The Quokka is a little bit scary because it's faster than us. I mean, we're never going to run out of magic points, so it's probably fine. A worm is a really good Searing Ray target because it's slow. Oh, I ended up next to the Quokka. Alright, we'll just stand next to him. We've got 22 HP, which is the great thing about being a Draconian. It only bites for 5 damage, so I'd be very impressed if he managed to kill us before we kill it with Searing Ray. I should also go up here to get this guy. Cool, we reached level 3. We're always going to pick intelligence, especially as a Draconian, because we're never wearing body armor, so we don't have too much care for strength. Oh, there's a falchion. Alright, that's even better than the short sword. Why? because free riposte. So if you dodge, you get a chance to hit back with a long blade. So especially while we're standing there doing Searing Ray, we could get free riposte swings on enemies hitting us. It's pretty nice. Big one didn't get it. Our first adder. Okay, so the adder hasn't seen us yet. We don't know for sure that we have a curing potion, but we do have 3 of something, which is likely to be it. The thing is that Magic Dart is quite good at killing adders because it can't miss. And the thing about adders is that they're highly evasive. So especially because it hasn't woken up, I think we just start fighting it. Oh yeah, we get quite poisoned, but yeah, we take it down pretty quickly. Did we get a riposte there? No. Okay, that was fine. But that first, just that one tick of poison you saw did quite a lot. 2 scrolls again. How desperate am I to find Identify? Probably not extremely desperate. The scariest thing we're probably likely to see here is adders, and with Magic Dart we can take them down. I mean, Sigmund too. We've seen D2 Sigmunds in most of these Game of the Month so far. We've reached level 4. Okay, so I should have talked about this. I skipped Dazzling Spray. I'm not a huge fan of this spell. So it does more damage than Magic Dart does. I guess with our Rigor Magical Power and all the magic points we have, we could kind of use this. But I think of this spell more as a hex than I do as a damage conjuration, because part of its effects is that you can dazzle enemies, and then when you dazzle them, you stab them. So I don't know. I've skipped that one, but at level 4, we have a bunch that we can learn. The best one here, especially when we only got 5 spell levels, is I think Mystic Blast. This one is a pure conjuration, and it's the most straightforward. You just shoot stuff and it kills them. Force Lance I'm not a big fan of. It can knock enemies back. It doesn't do that much damage, just generally. If you bump the thing into other things, walls or other enemies, you can do more damage, but then you're playing a little Force Lance minigame, which makes you go crazy. So I don't know, I don't love Force Lance. And Fulminate Prism is really powerful, but we'd also have to train Conjurations. So I think it's better just getting Mystic Blast up and running, because that's going to happen faster. Did I learn it? What am I doing? I just hit it. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to memorize it. There we go. Goes to X. I'm going to make a macro for that one as well, which is ZXF. I'm using F instead of dot, because that's just safer. Here's Crazy Youth. What has he got? He's got a Wand of Digging. Can he dig out? I hope not. He's got a Cloak. So getting his Cloak would be nice, but he's really dangerous, especially here on D2. Just one attack from his Quarterstaff of Chaos can paralyze you, can banish you, electrocute you. It's just not worth it yet. We'll come back later, but yeah, at this point, not willing to give him the chance. He's likely to shrug off a bunch of magic darts. Oh, killed him in one. Okay, well here's our first altar for the game, which is a Trog altar. Not really the god that you want to pick when you're a book start. I shouldn't fight here, because if we need to run, then we're going to have to take several attacks from him. Better off stepping around him first. There are a lot of enemies in there. A lot of stones too. We've got 42. 50 stones. This would be amazing if you were playing an Earth Elementalist, but we're not. Okay, so we're not picking Trog. I do advocate picking the first applicable god you find, but that's definitely not it. Oh boy, alright, so that's not what you want to see when you first come down to D3, which is a big pack of orcs. It means there's a chance there's a priest or a wizard or both with them. I am, while standing on the stairs here, going to read a stack before I go back up, because we've just been alerted that there's a sewer on this level. So if we randomly read a magic mapping scroll, it will show us. And if we get teleportation like that, we'll go back up. Okay, we'll go to a new stair. Well, that worked out better. Draconians also can't wear helmets. You can wear hats, but not helmets. I'm gonna read my other 2s. There's Identify, Potions, 3 of Haste, 2 of League, which is really good if we meet an early, say, B pack. That was it for Identify. I'll read the other 2. There's the magic mapping, nice. Okay, so this is going to show us where our sewer is. It's got to be that one, which means the best stair is probably this one. And it's near all these orcs, which is real bad. So this might be challenging to get into, but... and we also we're seeing a bunch of altars, which might be nice. I think getting into the sewer should be our first priority though. Sewers give you a bunch of good early game consumables. Oh wow, we just can't beat the worm. I should have done that spell. What's that thing called? Searing Ray, but I don't know. I'm really bad at using that spell actually. We're also really close to this altar. I'm really tempted just to find out. I think that's going to be Dithmenos. Ada didn't see me. A Conjurer of Dithmenos. That's not terrible. It can be legit. There are more. We can't actually get into that one because it's disconnected. Unless we go kill Crazy Youth and get his Wand of Digging, we can't immediately get into that one. But yeah, an Altar of Dith, I don't think that's horrible. I kind of want to go worship him. Like right now. It is Dith. I don't know that I've ever played a sort of Blaster Caster of Dith, but I don't think it's horrible. Even more adders. It's a good thing we have so many magic points for this. Alright, so Dith. Let's talk about him a little bit. So this is our first quote-unquote applicable god that could work on this character. I think at this point you can shadow step all the time. You can step into the shadows of nearby creatures, yep. And it costs you HP, yep. The last time I played Dith was still when it didn't cost you HP and they had to be sleeping. Alright, so why is Dith legit? 1, because he makes you super survivable on every single character. The first thing is that you get the, whatever the aura is called. It says Aura of Darkness, but it's got a name, which I can't remember. Makes you stealthier, which is nice, but the thing that we care most about there is that it reduces the accuracy of your foes. Shadow Step is nice, can be good as a tricky escape. You bleed smoke when you're heavily injured. It can help you escape, especially from ranged enemies like Yaktors, etc. But this last one, you can transform into a swirling mass of shadows. So Shadow Form makes it almost impossible to die. It's a great ability. And then for our blaster casting is this one here. Your shadow sometimes tangibly mimics your actions. So basically, when you blast, your shadow can also blast, and so you're getting a bunch of damage really quickly. So it's not like Vehement or Sif where we're going to get lots of extra magic points, but we're going to do our damage really quickly. So I think this is fine. Yep, we're going to join the religion. Pick up these things. I'm not going to run to get this fruit. We are still trying to get into the sewer. and I don't want to find more enemies over there because we're already hurt and missing magic points. What is this like? Killing everything, I believe. Hit the carrot key. He likes it when you kill living beings, you destroy the undead, you kill demons, you kill holy beings, and you destroy non-living beings. Doesn't that just mean he likes it when you kill things? What else isn't there? I guess non-living... I guess orbs of fire wouldn't fall under those? But they're all... I don't know. They're non-living as well. I don't know. Something that you would have previously had to have thought about is that if you worship Dith on a Blaster caster, it would stop you from using fire magic, but Dith doesn't care about that anymore. So you're free to do whatever you want. That looked kind of weird. It looked like the goblin turned into the python. I'm gonna read this scroll. On the stack of 2 again? That's curing, okay. I'm using my sword there because I'm trying to keep our magic points up so that we can just get straight into the sewer. There are just snakes everywhere. Okay, I'm being real careful here because for all we know, there are orc priests running around. Let's keep coming in. Alright, we might have to back up and re-heal here. Especially if there is an orc priest. That is a D3 sky beast. Oh wow. Well, one of the nice things about killing a sky beast, because it goes invisible of course, is that our magic dart can't miss, but we're not ready to fight that. I'm trying to go into sewer here. I'm just hoping it didn't see us. It didn't. No, I need to back up. If we run into the sky beast being chased by an orc priest as we're dying, I guess we'd use a blinking scroll. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but yeah, I don't want to do that. Something I'm also going to quickly mention. So for our Dith abilities, especially Shadow Form, we're going to want some invocations training, but that's still a while off. We don't need that for quite a while yet. It's much more important to get our spells usable. Wow. And I really want to go for this sewer though. This is risky. I mean, we have the blinking scroll, so we have a get out of free jail card. Wait. Get out of jail free card. I said that backwards. Oh, that's probably the same one. Okay. I was like, a second one? That's insane. I wonder if I could just kill him with that thing. This one. No, but he's nearly dead. I think, yeah, we just killed him. Nice. That took us to level 5, so we got a bunch of experience from that. River rats aren't fast, so they're not extremely threatening. Let me just XV it and check. Yeah, it's not fast. But they bite for 10, so they hit surprisingly hard if you're not expecting it. But again, I think we might need to go reset. No, I'm just going to fight him. There are still more enemies coming. This is crazy. Alright, well, when I have magic points, we'll shoot. I really, really want to get into the sewer. Oh, that guy had a sling. Do you have sling bullets? No. Just stones. Okay. Go away! I don't want to fight more orcs. Keep coming. This guy has a Holy Wrath Flail. I'm going to try to remember that on the way out. I don't want to be messing with that right now. I just want to get into the sewer, which I'm kind of amazed that we did. This looks like a sewer where you fight stuff straight away, but no, there wasn't that much more. Okay, that's fine. Do we have spell levels for 4-minute prism? Not yet. Okay. We can't train. I was going to say we could learn Dazzling Spray to start training our hexes immediately. But then we will be even further from getting Full Minute Prism. So that doesn't make any sense. Let's hit these big boys with the channel spell. We're going to pick Int as we hit level 6. This guy is taking literally no damage and he drank a heal wounds potion. That is totally unfair. See? No, he's just a big boy. He doesn't have any armor on. Alright, we got him. Well, he just taxed us to heal wounds potion. Oh, nice. A new blinking scroll as well as another teleportation scroll. So with 2 blinking scrolls, hey, Dith just gave us our aura. What is this called? Umbra, that's the word. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, calling it an aura of shadow is kind of just an umbrella term. Even more blinking. So, and here's another heal wounds potion. And because we saw the big kobold use it before, it's identified. We got a bunch of scrolls. 4 of those. I wouldn't be surprised if they're random uselessness. But we'll find out later. That's a curse -3 Blowgun. I'm going to pick up poison needles because we might find a regular one. And again, we're not playing Trunk where they've been removed. So we've still got those. Ah, yes, the Holy Wrath. We should go get that. If we end up having to fight ghosts for some reason, Bram will be useful. ID, let's do it on the 2. Well, we found magic mapping, so I guess we don't... And our god. So we don't really need to wait for D4 to read scrolls. I'm just waiting anyway. We'll read them all on D4. I wonder when we should go get Crazy Youth. Mystic Blast is still at 12% chance to fail. That it's still a bit sketchy. I'd like to be able to just blow him up with IMB. So we'll wait a little bit more. Or even Full Minute Prism, which we can now learn. So let's learn that. Can we throw down the Full Minute Prism, open the door and step back? I don't know, probably not. It's not enough turns. Yeah, no, it's not. We'd blow ourselves up. Okay, this is a really interesting spell. I'm not going to show you yet because it's 38% chance to fail and red failure level. But you put down a bomb, it takes a few turns and then it explodes. You want to try not to hit yourself with it. You're going to turn hexes on and we're going to train those to, I don't know, 4 maybe? A null pack. Let's throw a Searing Ray down. We might be able to take some of them out. Fight that one. Sticking around to fight gnolls like that is kind of dangerous because you never know if they're going to have nets. But we didn't get punished. Got a bunch of dogs. ID scrolls, so that's degen. What was the stack of 4? Was it just degen? I don't know, I didn't figure it out. This is a little room, which it's a good thing we came up because there was a teleportation scroll there. There was a Dith altar in here anyway, along with Nem. Yes, so as I just talked about, the gnolls can be really dangerous, so I'm going to start running back before I do stuff. And I'm going to Searing Ray down the hall here. Oh yeah, that value. Robin. Okay, we want to run back from Robin. Robin can trap us in a choke point like that by throwing things at us. We're also... Oh no, this was a bad stair to come back up. It's a dead end. We're going to Searing Ray this bullfrog. Cool. Reached level 7. We became a white one. Okay. Cool. Wait, did we become white? No, we became grey. Okay. So, grey Draconian. Did a bunch of things. So tell me, yes, did you get grey Draconian or did you get something else? Let's see. So, our scales took on a dull iron grey color. You learn air magic much slower. You learn earth magic much quicker. You can walk through water. You feel breathless. So we can now go through deep water. The other cool thing about grey, well, there's an upside and a downside. So with iron scales, you get a huge amount of AC. You see immediately we've got AC plus 11. Which is a huge amount of AC for any character just starting D4. But to also be like that without body armor is pretty insane. The downside about Grey Draconian is you don't get an elemental resistance and you don't get a breath attack. So it's kind of like you're the tanky one and that's it. For our aptitudes, if we have a look now, our air became -2, earth became +2. So if we're finding spells, obviously we want to keep an eye out for earth magic ones. Alright, we're just gonna stead dance this stuff up. Actually, I could have just stayed there. I mean, we have 11 AC now. Nothing is gonna bother us for quite a while. I shouldn't be too cocky though. Well, it's too late. Let's shoot Robin. Cool. Yeah, see, they were all mited, but it just didn't really matter. Quick check on IMB, it's at 9%. Still not willing to go fight Youth just yet. Spellcasting to 4. We're going to keep training spellcasting, I don't know, maybe forever. But for quite a while yet. And so we're seeing orcs, which means we need to be careful. We do have curing, so if we find wizards, it's not the end of the world. But priests are still always scary. And their smite ignores your AC. So the fact that you're a Grey Draconian will not help you from smite. Double wizard and priest. If we get confused, we can still just go back upstairs. So I'll try to dance one guy up. Oh yeah, now our aura does not help us with the priest either. Smite does not miss. New scroll. Let's check. Oh, actually, I forgot. We're going to read all our scrolls. Alright, we got fear, amnesia. I don't want to forget any of these. Enchant armor, nothing, and fog. Alright, cool. I should stand on the stairs here. Again, if I get confused, we can go back upstairs without having to use a potion. And, oh, an ogre. IMB's at 9%. I wonder if we can just blow him up before he gets to us easily, comfortably. See, that hungers us. But that's okay. I think we should also IMB the priest. We should just try to take him out quickly. I mean, we have a lot of HP because we're Draconian. It's a 17 max damage on smite. But yeah, we'll just kill him quickly. A potion shop. Alright. The potions of magic, I think, can be really useful in the future, but I don't think they're too important in the present. There are also a lot of potions here for fighting, so Might, Berserk, Rage. I don't think we need those. If we didn't already know League, I think I'd buy it, but we do, and we've got 3 of those, so I'm not going to. Let's ID these 3 we're carrying. Agility. Alright, yep. So I don't think we're going to buy any of these just yet. Although we'll remember. So there's Brilliance here, there's Mutation, there's more Curing, Cancellation. We can come back in the future. I don't think it's worth spending all our gold here in the early game on something that's only marginally useful. I mean, maybe there'll be, I don't know, like an armor shop or something. Like Ultra, Draconians can't wear body armor. And I'd say, yeah, but they can wear gloves and things. What's this guy got? Mace of Protection. Alright, we should claim that. That's a D5 Orc Warrior. He's behind glass, but still. Am I going to bother with the Mace of Protection? See, the thing about protection now is you only get the extra AC if you're actually fighting things. But we've got so much magic points, we probably don't really need to. But I guess it doesn't hurt to just be carrying it around. But can you imagine we could have 18 AC on D5 here? New book. Why is Auto Explore taking me the other way? Take me to the book. That's a ghost fort. This is Kill Snake, who's not a real ghost. He has no spells. Hits for 9. So he's not actually that scary. Let's go get the book. What have we got? Alright, Confusing Touch, Confuse, Gale's Gravitas, Petrify, Metabolic Inglatiation, and Yara's Violent Unraveling. Note that Petrify is an Earth spell. Let's hide Dazzling Spray and Force Lance. These two are not real exciting. Let's put Confuse, Petrify, probably the two that I actually want. Not a huge fan of either Metabolic Inglatiation or Yara's Violent Unraveling. But Petrify is a hex as well as being an Earth spell. And it's a transmutation spell, which, from memory... Okay, never mind, it's just a 0. Draconian's mostly 0 across the board. But yeah, if we're going to pick a hex, it might be better to pick the Earth one rather than the hex one, because it's a +2 aptitude versus a -1. Well, we can't learn Petrify just yet anyway, so we don't have to worry just yet. But that's something that we might use. That's really useful even if you're not intending to stab things. And I mean, we could always go into stabbing things because we got death. But that's even useful just as an escape, to petrify something, then just run away. But yeah, that gives us a lot of options. That's a really nice book to find. And of course, even Confuse would be really nice. We are training hexes, and we, again, can stab with death quite well. But we won't worry about it just yet. We'll keep our options open. The Scorpion, that's fine. We have Curing. Apparently he was really hard to take down. In hindsight, maybe we should have used IMB. Yeah, see, that's a bookshop. That's exactly what I said armor. In my head I was thinking bookshop, and then I thought, I don't know how early in the game bookshops can spawn. Alright, well, anyway. The holding our gold potentially pays off here. Instead of some crappy potions, we might be able to get a book. And see, right here, the Book of Callings, there's Summon Lightning Spire. That's the first one that jumped out at me, just for the record. There's also a Book of Geomancy, which is the starting book for Earth spells, which I think that is probably the one that we actually buy. That lets us make use of our Earth aptitude as a Iron Draconian, Grey Draconian. LRD is there, that's really good. So what else is in here? Debilitation, that's a terrible book. Callings and Beast is basically letting you be a summoner for the rest of the game. We've got Frost, which is the ice one. If we're going to pick one, we're going to pick Earth over Frost. The Book of Death, if we want to go a bit into being a Necromancer, I don't think we do. Frost again. Changes if we want to go all in on transmutations, I again don't think we want to do that. And enchantments, not really that exciting. Okay, so I think we put callings in our shopping list. I'm going to put geomancy. We need 133 gold for geomancy. But yeah, again, imagine if we'd spent all our gold, we'd be pretty unhappy to find this. Which makes me say that we definitely learn Petrify, and then I think we just start learning... Do we start learning Earth Magic immediately? I think not. I think let's focus our hexes so we can just get Fulminate Prism castable. Let's stop our conjurations at 8. And then once we've done that and we've got Fulminate Prism usable, we'll start training Earth Magic. That will help us get Petrify up, and it will get us ready for getting LRD. I guess there's sort of a bit of overlap between Fulminate Prism and LRD, but LRD is full screen, so it's definitely way better, and it's immediate. We are not going into that Ghost Vault. That's a lot of praise, and there's also a warrior in there. We are definitely not ready to fight a warrior. Alright, so I wanted to step adjacent to the centaur. Note that we get a free riposte attack, which is nice, using IMB. Let's check this hatch. We've already made it to 3 pips of piety, so we now have Shadow Step. I wonder if this... I don't know if Shadow Step changes with Invocation's skill, whether it makes you less likely to fail. Another book. Animate Skeleton, Summon Small Mammal, Apportation. So the game's giving us cantrips, trying to help us out here. Animate Skeleton, obviously a great spell, as is Apportation. It's very useful. I kind of don't think I want to use Animate Skeleton though. I mean, maybe. It can get kind of annoying though when you're a Blaster caster, because you're effectively a range character, and the skeletons can get in the way. It's probably trivial optimal to use it, but I don't know, it's kind of annoying. Here's a magical cloak. Oh, we also just made it to 390 gold. Wait, oh, we need 490. Okay, never mind. Let's go back to our upstairs to try the cloak on. It's cursed. Yeah, it's okay. It's purple. Looks pretty good. We now have enough for the Book of Callings. I think we go for LRD over Summon Lightning Spire. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the Summon Lightning Spire, but it's an air spell, right? I don't know, it's still probably better than LRD, but I don't know. It feels right to go LRD. Oh yeah, man, I've been forgetting a lot of things. So here's some potions. There's a ring that we should have put on a long time ago, which was a positive energy ring. So we're going to take that as a reminder to stay positive. And then I think we'll call that an episode. So it's a pretty good start. We have a bunch of good consumables, 3 scrolls of blinking. We found an early decent god. We found a bunch of books. So I really like where we are right now. And this, when are you seeing this? This is my Sunday night, which is your Sunday morning maybe. So a day and a bit, come watch me stream. It'll be fun. Bye.